Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're unpacking Roman myths, and I think you'll be surprised by what we uncover. You know, when most of us think Roman mythology, we picture Jupiter, Mars, Venus.
Right, basically the Greek gods with different names. That's the common idea.
Exactly. But our deep dive today, looking at this comprehensive guide to their gods, their heroes, these transformative tales, it shows there's so much more going on beneath the surface. Our mission really is to move beyond just those familiar names. We want to uncover the, unexpected links between these myths and the Roman state itself, and also illuminate the very human experiences captured in these ancient stories. Think of it as a shortcut, getting you that thorough knowledge quickly without feeling overloaded.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is, while Roman mythology definitely borrows a lot from Greek myths, that wasn't how it started. Roman religion had its own unique native gods, this Greek influence. It was actually a later thing, a layer added on top. And it never completely replaced the original Roman ways. So these myths, they kind of evolved with the state, often reflecting its practical, even political needs. It's a much deeper system than just, swapping games.
Okay, so let's dig into that blend you mentioned.
Yeah.
We all recognize the big ones, right? Jupiter is Zeus,
Mm-hmm.
Mercury is Hermes, Venus is Aphrodite, Mars is Ares, Juno is Hera. Those connections seem pretty straightforward.
They are. Those parallels are definitely there. But Rome also kept its own distinct original gods very much alive. Take Janus, for example. He was uniquely Roman. The two-headed god, beginnings, transitions, doorways, gate, his temple in the forum. Incredibly central to the state, really important. Or think about Vesta, goddess of the hearth, the home. Now, the Greeks had Hestia, sure, but Vesta's worship, absolutely vital to the Roman state cult. Guarded by the Vestal virgins, these patrician women, they were seen as direct protectresses of the Roman. It really shows how practical, how state-focused Roman religion.
So it's clear that these myths weren't just like bedtime stories. They had real functions, political, historical. You mentioned Virgil's Aeneid. That wasn't just a cool origin story. It actually legitimized the Julian emperors.
Absolutely. By tracing their family line straight back to Aeneas' son, Iulus, also called Ascanius.
That's basically saying they had divine ancestry, a powerful claim.
And it wasn't just the Aeneid. That whole story of Romulus and Remus, the actual founding of Rome. Early Roman historians, like Livy, they treated it as historical fact, not just myth. These foundational stories were completely woven into Roman identity, their sense of history.
It makes you think, doesn't it? About how maybe some of our own modern narratives might serve purposes beyond just telling a story.
It's a useful comparison, yeah.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Our sources point to three key foundational myths. They really define early Rome. We're talking Aeneas, Romulus, and Remus, and the really powerful story of Lucretia. Let's start with Aeneas. His epic journey in Virgil's Aeneid. This wasn't just any founding myth. This was the official one. Purpose-built, really, to link Rome's origins to Troy, to the gods.
Since Aeneas was the son of Venus, yeah.
And Emperor Augustus himself saw how valuable it was politically. He actually ordered it published, even though Virgil apparently wanted it burned before he died. It was unfinished.
Right. And the story itself kicks off with Troy falling. Aeneas gets warned by Hector's ghost. His mother Venus guides him out. And crucially, his wife Creusa, who gets lost in the chaos, her ghost tells him he's destined for a new home. Out west, where the Tiber flows. So right away, it sets up this idea of destiny. He's meant for Italy.
But getting there is a whole saga. False starts, bad omens in Thrace, Crete. Finally, a dream points him to Hesperia, Italy. And on the way, that encounter with the harpies, those bird women things.
Horrible creatures.
Their leader predicts this famine, says they'll be so hungry they'll eat their tables. Which sounds bizarre, but it comes back later.
It does. And then things get really dramatic when Juno steps in. She absolutely hates the Trojans.
Because of Paris picking Venus over her?
Yeah.
And she loved Carthage.
Exactly. So she gets Aeolus, the wind god, to whip up this massive storm, tries to wipe them out. Neptune has to intervene to save them, but the storm blows them off course, right to Carthage.
And that's where he meets Dido, Queen of Carthage. He finds some peace there. They fall deeply in love.
Yeah.
It seems like maybe this is it.
A real connection, but it can't last.
No. Jupiter sends Mercury down, reminds Aeneas, you have a destiny in Italy, go.
And Aeneas, pious Aeneas, he has to obey the gods.
He leaves. Dido is absolutely heartbroken, devastated. And in her despair, she curses Aeneas and his descendants. Eternal enmity between their people, and she kills herself.
It's incredibly tragic. And it sets up the whole conflict between Rome and Carthage later, the Punic Wars. It's like a mythological foreshadowing.
So he keeps going. More challenges, stops in Sicily again. His father Anchises dies there.
Right, and then Anchises' ghost appears later, tells Aeneas he needs guidance for the next stage, tells him to find the Cumean Sibyl,
The prophetess, which leads to maybe the most powerful part of the whole epic, his trip to the underworld.
the descent into Hades. Yeah, guided by the Sibyl. He needs a golden bough to get in.
Finds it with help from his mother's dove. Gets past Charon, Cerberus.
And down there, among all the shades, he meets his father Anchises again.
And Anchises shows him the future. The whole future glory of Rome, like a parade of heroes.
Romulus, Caesar, Augustus. It's this incredibly powerful vision, connecting his Trojan past directly to Rome's imperial future, solidifies his purpose.
So he comes back, totally energized, finally reaches Italy, the mouth of the Tiber, and then Ascanius, his son, makes some casual remark about eating the flatbread they used as plates.
Yeah.
Fulfilling the Harpy prophecy.
Exactly. They realize, this is it. We're here. So Aeneas sends envoys to King Latinus. Latinus is welcoming. He actually traces his own line back to Saturn and remembers a prophecy that his daughter Lavinia must marry a foreigner. He thinks Aeneas is the one.
Seems like things might finally go smoothly.
You'd think so, but Juno's still meddling. She sends down Alecto, one of the Furies.
To stir up trouble.
Oh yeah. Alecto first inflames Queen Amata, Latinus' wife. She wanted Lavinia to marry Turnus, this local prince. Amata hides Lavinia, riles up the women. Then Alecto goes to Turnus himself, fills him with rage. He declares war on the Trojans.
It escalates fast. Some accidental skirmish. Ascanius wounds a pet stag. The locals are furious.
Latinus tries to keep the peace, refuses to open the Temple of Janus. Opening its doors means war.
But Juno takes matters into her own hands.
She flies down herself, throws open the doors, unleashes war across the land.
So Aeneas is facing this huge coalition. What does he do?
He gets help. The river god Tiberinus tells him in a dream to seek allies. He finds Evander, a Greek kin nearby who knew his father.
And Evander advises him to approach the Etruscans.
Right, because they needed a foreign leader according to prophecy, and Venus gets Vulcan to forge him this incredible armor.
The shield, depicting Rome's future victories, more destiny reinforcement.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Turnus attacks the Trojan camp while Aeneas is away. Big battle. There's a famous tragic side story about Nisus and Euryalus trying to sneak through enemy line. It doesn't end well.
The gods are watching all this.
And Jupiter eventually just says, enough, tells the other gods to stay out of it, let fate decide.
Aeneas returns with his allies, finds out Turnus killed Pallas, his young friend and ally.
Son of Evander! Aeneas goes berserk. Just pure fury on the battlefield.
Juno tries one last trick to save Turnus.
Creates a phantom Aeneas to lure him away onto a ship, yeah. Buys him some time, but it can't last.
Eventually, they agree to single combat, Aeneas versus Turnus, to end the bloodshed.
But even that gets interrupted. Juno's sister Juturna, helping Turnus, causes the truce to break. More fighting.
Aeneas gets wounded.
But Venus heals him miraculously. He presses the attack, targets the city itself, forces Turnus to face him.
The final dupe.
Turnus' sword breaks. He's weakening. Jupiter sends a fury to terrify him.
And Aeneas sees it, Pallas' belt, worn by Turnus as a trophy.
That seals it. Any thought of mercy vanishes. Aeneas kills Turnus, avenges Pallas, wins the war.
In Juno, she finally accepts defeat.
She does, but she negotiates with Jupiter. The Trojans can win, Aeneas can marry Lavinia, but the Latins keep their name, language, custom. Troy itself must be forgotten.
So Rome becomes Roman, not Trojan. A blend.
Precisely. A unique identity forged from Trojan destiny and Latin roots. That's the core of the Aeneid's message.
Wow. Okay, so that's the epic official version. But what about the story most people probably know? Romulus and Remus.
Right, the twins. That's generally the most accepted founding myth, even if our sources admit there were other versions around.
This one also connects back to Aeneas, right? Through his son Ascanius.
Through the line of kings in Alba Longa, the story picks up with King Procas having two sons, Numitor and Amulius. Amulius, the younger one, steals the throne from Numitor, kills his sons,
and forces Numitor's daughter, Rhea Silvia, to become a Vestal virgin, to stop her having kids who could challenge.
Exactly. But then, miraculously, she conceives twins, fathered, she claims, by the god Mars himself.
Romulus and Remus. Amulius finds out.
Orders them killed, but the servant takes pity, puts them in a basket on the Tiber instead.
And they float downstream, found by the she-wolf.
A famous image, Lupa Capitolina. She suckles them. Then they're found by a shepherd, Faustulus, and his wife Laurentia. They raise the boys.
So they grow up strong, natural leaders.
Protectors of the weak, leaders of their own band. Eventually, Remus gets captured in a dispute and brought before Numitor, his grandfather. Numitor recognizes them. Faustulus tells Romulus the truth. They figure it all out.
And they get revenge. Overthrow Amulius, put Numitor back on the throne.
Right. Justice served in Alba Longa, but they don't want to just stay there.
They want their own city, near where they were found.
On those 7 hills by the Tiber, Romulus picks the Palatine Hill, Remus picks the Aventine. Big argument starts. Who should rule? They're twins.
So they turn to augury, watching birds for signs from the gods.
Vultures, specifically. Remus sees 6 first, but then Romulus sees 12.
Uh-oh, what does that mean? First sighting or more birds?
They hadn't agreed. The dispute flares up again, turns violent, and Romulus kills Remus.
Wow. So Rome is literally founded on fratricide.
Just a harsh element, yeah. Reflects maybe the tough reality of building.
Romulus buries Remus, then gets to work. Plows the boundary, builds walls, sets up laws, gets the first senators.
Establishes the core structures.
Okay.
But there's a problem.
Not enough women.
Exactly. The new city is mostly men. He asks neighboring tribes for wives. They all say no. Snub.
Which leads to the infamous plan.
The rape of the Sabine women during the Consuelia festival dedicated to Neptune. They invite the neighbors, Sabines included.
At a signal, the Roman men grab the young unmarried women, carry them off.
It's a brutal act, no question. Leads directly to war with the Sabines and others.
The Sabines actually capture part of the city, the citadel.
They do. There's fierce fighting right in the forum. Romulus prays to Jupiter the Stayer to stop his men fleeing.
And then the women intervene, Sabine women who were taken.
Yes, they run out onto the battlefield, babies in arms, stand between their Sabine fathers and brothers and their new Roman husbands.
Begging them to stop. It's incredibly dramatic.
And it works. The fighting stops. They make peace. The Sabines actually merge with the Romans. Titus Tatius rules alongside Romulus for a while.
A very pragmatic outcome, integrating people.
Very Roman. Romulus rules well after that. Rome grows strong. Then he just disappears.
In a storm, taken up to heaven.
That's the story. Becomes the god Quirine. And Proclus Julius claims Romulus appeared to him, saying Rome's destiny was to be the capital of the world.
So between Aeneas and Romulus Remus, you get this powerful mix. Divine destiny, brutal determination, pragmatism, ambition.
Yeah, it sets the stage for who the Romans believed they were, or wanted to be.
Okay, one more foundational story, Lucretia. This one feels different. More grounded me, leading to the Republic.
It definitely has that feel. Less overtly mythological, more like a historical legend explaining a massive political shift.
It starts under the reign of the last king, Tarquinius Superbus, Tarquin the Proud, a tyrant.
Right, he's unpopular, forcing citizens into heavy labor like building projects, while the army is off besieging Ardea.
And the officers there, including the king's son Sextus Tarquinius and Lucretia's husband Clayton, get into this boasting contest.
Yeah.
But whose wife is the most virtuous?
Yeah, fueled by wine, probably. Clayton is adamant his wife the best.
So they decide to ride back to Rome secretly and check.
And they find the other wives partying, feasting. But Lucretia, she's at home, late at night, diligently weaving with her maid, the perfect Roman matron.
Everyone agrees Clayton wins. She's the most virtuous.
But seeing her, Sextus Tarquinius, the king's son, he's inflamed with lust. And entitlement, probably.
He goes back later, secret, to her house. She welcomes him as kin.
But then he threatens her, demands she sleep with him. She refuses.
And he makes this truly vile threat.
He says if she doesn't submit, he'll kill her and a male slave, place their bodies together, and claim he caught them in adultery. Utter dishonor for her and her family forever.
Faced with that, she submits.
Yeah.
To avoid the unbearable public shame.
But the next day, she sends urgent messages to her father, Spurius Lucretius, and her husband, Calatinus, tells them to come at once, bring trusted friends.
Calatinus brings Lucius Junius Brutus.
Who everyone thought was kind of slow, harmless. Brutus even means dullard. But it was an act.
Why?
Because the king, Tarquinius Superbus, had killed Brutus's brother. Brutus was hiding his intelligence and his hatred, waiting for it.
Wow. So they all gather. Lucretia tells them what Sextus did.
She makes them swear revenge. They try to comfort her, say the guilt is his, not hers.
But she can't accept that. For her, the act itself has stained her honor.
And to prove her virtue and perhaps to force their hand to act, she pulls out a hidden dagger and kills herself.
Such a powerful, tragic act.
Absolutely devastating. And Brutus, this is his moment.
He pulls the bloody dagger from her body.
Drops the dullard act completely. Swears this incredibly powerful oath by her chaste blood and by the gods to drive out Tarquinius Superbus, his wicked wife Tullia, all his children, and never let anyone be king in Rome again.
And the others, stunned, swear the oath too.
They carry Lucretia's body to the Roman Forum, public display.
Brutus gives this fiery speech, tells everyone about Sextus's crime, Lucretia's noble death, reminds them of all the king's other tyrannies, the forced labor, the murder of the previous good king, Servius Tullius.
The sheer arrogance and impiety of the royal family.
And the people. They rally. They're enraged.
The revolt is immediate. They close the city gates, declare the Tarquins exiled. The monarchy, after 244 years, is over.
And the Republic is born, with 2 elected consuls leading.
Initially, Brutus and Calatinus. Lucretia's husband, and stronger popular assembly.
So this story becomes the moral foundation of the Republic. Liberty won through virtue, honor, and sacrifice against tyranny.
Precisely. It's a defining moment in how Rome understood itself.
Okay, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about some of those larger-than-life hero tales. Romans love these stories, right? Feats of strength, monsters.
Oh, definitely. Big adventures, divine help, often adapting Greek myths, but giving them a Roman setting or spin.
Like Hercules. He's Greek, obviously, but there's this story placing him right in Latium, where Rome will be.
Yeah, it's told by King Evander to Aeneas in the Aeneid, makes Hercules part of the local landscape, almost.
The story involves his 10th labor, the cattle of Geryon.
Right. He's driving them through Italy, stops to rest near the Aventine Hill.
And there's a monster living, Caucasus.
A fire-breathing giant, son of Vulcan, lives in a cave, steals things, eats people. Classic monster. He spots Hercules' prize cattle and steals some, pulls them backwards into his cave by their tails so the tracks look like they went out, not in. Clever, but devious.
Hercules wakes up, counts his cattle, realizes some are missing. He searches, gets confused by the tracks.
Until one of the stolen cows moos from inside the cave, gives the game away.
Hercules is furious, tries to smash his way in, but Caucasus has rolled a huge stone secured by Vulcan's chains across the entrance.
Impenetrable, so Hercules finds another way.
He climbs the hill above the cave.
Finds a weak spot and with his incredible strength literally rips the top off the hill, tears it open, exposing the cave and Caucasus to daylight.
Sunlight, the monster's weakness.
Well, it reveals him anyway. Caucasus tries to fight back with fire and smoke, but Hercules leaps down, grabs him, and throttles him, strangles the life out of him.
And the locals, they're thrilled.
Overjoyed. They celebrate Hercules as a savior, establish an altar, the Era Maxima, and hold annual rites in his honor right there, which Evander is still doing when Aeneas arrives.
So it connects Hercules directly to the site of future Rome, making it a place already blessed by heroic deeds, cleared of monsters.
Exactly. Preparing the ground, symbolically.
Okay, let's talk about Atalanta, the huntress. She seems like a really fascinating figure. Different sources, but always skilled.
Incredibly skilled. Archer, runner, faster than any man. Ovid, the Roman poet, gives her a compelling story.
Her backstory is unusual, too. Exposed as a baby because her father wanted a son.
Yeah, King Scoinia, left on a mountainside. But she's saved, first by a she-bear that nurses her, then found by hunters who raise her in the wild.
So she becomes this amazing huntress, which leads to her involvement in the Caledonian boar hunt.
A huge event. This monstrous boar sent by Diana is ravaging the land. All the greatest heroes gather to hunt it, including Meleager, the Prince of Caledon.
And Atalanta joins them. Meleager is immediately smitten.
Totally. During the hunt, Atalanta is the first to wound the boar with an arrow. First blood.
Which impresses Meleager, but maybe annoys some of the other guys.
Definitely causes some jealousy. One guy, Aeneas, boasts he can do better, charges in recklessly, and gets killed by the boar. Hubris.
Meleager eventually kills the boar.
Yeah.
And gives the prize, the hide and tusks, to Atalanta.
A sign of respect, maybe love, but his uncles, his mother Althea's brothers, are outraged. A woman getting the prize, they try to take it from her.
Meleager defends her honor.
And ends up killing his own uncles in the process, which leads to more tragedy.
Because his mother, Althea,
had been told at Meleager's birth by the fates that he would live only as long as a certain log, then burning on the hearth, remained unburnt. She'd snatched it from the fire, kept it safe.
But now, hearing he killed her brothers.
In grief and rage, she throws the log back onto the fire. As it burns, Meleager mysteriously weakens and dies far away. A really grim family tragedy.
So after all that, Atalanta wants nothing to do with marriage.
She consults an oracle who gives this cryptic warning. Marriage will be your ruin, but you won't escape it. Once wed, you'll lose yourself.
Not exactly encouraging, so she makes a vow of celibacy.
And sets up this deadly challenge. Any man who wants to marry her has to beat her in a foot. If he wins, she marries him. If he loses, he dies.
High stakes. Many try.
Many try, many fail. She's just too fast. Until Melanion comes along, or Hippomenes in some versions.
He has a plan.
He prays to Venus for help. The goddess gives him 3 irresistible golden apples from her sacred garden.
During the race, as Atalanta starts pulling ahead, he throws one of the golden apples off the track.
She sees it glittering. She can't resist. She hesitates, veers off course to pick it up, loses a little ground.
He does this 2 more times.
Yep. Each time she pauses to retrieve the beautiful apple, distracted by its allure, that gives Melanion just enough edge to win the race. Barely.
So she has to marry him. Did the oracle come true? Did she lose herself?
Well, the end is also tragic. They marry, seem happy for a bit, but Melanion forgets a crucial step.
What's that?
He forgets to thank Venus for the apples, for her help. Big mistake.
Gods don't like being ignored.
Not at all. Later, Venus gets her revenge. She fills them with sudden, uncontrollable passion while they're near a sacred temple of Cybele, the great mother goddess.
And they desecrate the temple.
They do. An act of terrible impiety. Cybele is enraged and transforms them both into lions.
Lions. Why lion?
Lions were believed unable to mate with each other, so it was a punishment of eternal frustration. And she harnesses them to her chariot, forced to pull it forever.
Wow. So even in victory, there's a price. What does her story tell us, maybe, about gender and fate back then?
It's complex. She's incredibly capable, independent, yet ultimately tamed by love, marriage, and divine whim. It reflects anxieties about female power, maybe, and the inescapable nature of fate or divine plans.
Fascinating. Okay, one more epic hero journey. Jason and the Golden Fleece. This one feels huge. Still inspiring movies today.
Absolutely. A cornerstone quest. It starts, like many myths, with family drama and politics.
Jason's uncle Peleus stole the throne from Jason's father, Aeneas.
Right, and Peleus gets this oracle warning him about a man wearing only one sandal.
Enter Jason. He's been raised in secret by Chiron the centaur. Comes back to Iolcus to claim his throne.
And on the way, he helps an old woman cross a river, loses his sandal in the mud. The old woman, Juno in disguise. So now he has a divine protector, but also fulfills the prophecy.
Peleus sees the one sandal, he's terrified, but pretends to be welcoming.
Says Jason can have the throne if he brings back the legendary Golden Fleece from the far-off land of Colchis, a seemingly impossible suicidal task.
Yep, but Jason accepts the challenge, builds a ship.
The Argo. With help from Minerva, it even has a talking piece of wood from Juno's sacred oak in its prow. Very high-tech for the time.
And he gathers a crew of heroes, the Argonaut, like an ancient Avengers team.
Pretty much. Hercules, Orpheus the musician, the twins, Castor and Pollux, Atalanta in some versions, Theseus, an all-star lineup.
The voyage itself is full of adventures and dangers. They lose Hercules early on.
Yeah, his young companion Hylas gets pulled into a spring by a water nymph who falls for him. Hercules goes searching, shouting his name. The Argo sails on without them. The sea god Glaucus appears later and tells the Argonauts it was fated Hercules had other labors.
They also meet King Phineus,
who's blind and tormented by the Harpies. They steal his food, defile what's left. Awful curse.
The Argonauts help him.
Two of them, Calais and Zetes, sons of the North Wind, chase the Harpies away for good. In gratitude, Phineus gives them crucial advice for the rest of their journey.
Especially about the clashing rocks, the simple gates.
Deadly moving rocks that smash anything trying to pass between them, Phineus says. Send a dove through first. If it makes it, you have a chance.
So they do. The dove flies through, just loses its tail feathers as the rocks crash together.
That's their cue. They row like mad. Minerva gives them a push. The ship scrapes through just as the rocks clash again, smashing their rudder ornament, but they make it. And the rocks stop moving forever after that.
They finally reach Colchis, land of King Aeneas. Jason decides to ask for the fleece first, diplomatically.
Good strategy. The fleece itself came from a magical flying ram that saved a boy named Phrixus. Phrixus sacrificed the ram, hung its golden fleece in a sacred grove guarded by a never-sleeping dragon.
And when Jason asks King Aeneas for it, he meets Medea, the king's daughter.
And a powerful sorceress. And thanks to Venus and Juno working behind the scenes, Medea falls instantly, desperately in love with Jason.
Which is lucky for him because Aeneas is not giving up the fleece easily, sets impossible tasks.
Oh yeah, first, yoke 2 fire-breathing bronze bulls, plow a field with them.
Then sow dragon's teeth in the field,
which sprout into an army of fully armed warriors who will attack him.
And then, if he survives that, he has to face the dragon guarding the fleece.
Seems hopeless, but Medea, driven by love, secretly gives Jason help.
Magic potion.
Ointment to protect him from the bull's fire. Advice on how to deal with the earthborn warriors. Throw a stone among them, they'll fight each other.
And something for the dragon.
A sleeping potion. She gives him everything he needs in return for his promise to marry her and take her away from Colchis.
Jason agrees, uses her magic, completes the tasks, yokes the bulls, confuses the warriors, puts the dragon to sleep, grabs the fleece.
He and Medea, along with the Argonauts, make a run for it. Aeneas chases them. Medea resorts to dark magic to slow him down, involving her own brother. It gets grim.
They eventually get back to Iolcus. Medea uses her magic again.
Restores Jason's old father Aeson to youth. Then tricks Peleus' daughters into killing their own father, thinking Medea's magic would make him young again. It doesn't. Revenge for Jason.
But this forces them into exile. They end up in Corinth.
And things fall apart there. Jason decides to dump Medea and marry Glauce, the princess of Corinth, for political advantage, maybe?
Bad move. Very bad move.
Medea is beyond betrayed. Her revenge is terrifying.
Sends the bride a poisoned robe.
A beautiful robe infused with magic fire. It burns Glauce and her father, the king, to death when she puts it on.
And the worst part.
She kills her own 2 sons that she had with Jason to hurt him as complete devastation.
Then she escaped in a dragon chariot.
Sent by her grandfather, Helios, the sun god, flies away, leaving Jason with absolutely nothing.
What happens to Jason?
He lives a lonely, broken life. Medea cursed him, prophesied a miserable end. Years later, he's sitting by the decaying wreck of his old ship, the Argo, and a rotten beam falls.
Wow. What an ending. From glorious hero to that. Such a mix of adventure, magic, love, betrayal, horrific revenge.
It's one of the great dark epics, covers the whole spectrum of human and divine act.
Okay, let's wrap up our deep dive with Ovid, his Metamorphoses. These are stories about change, transformation.
Exactly. Ovid's whole theme is bodies changed, metamorphoses, how contact with the divine or powerful emotions literally reshape people. It's a huge collection, a major source for Roman myths.
He even starts with his own version of creation, different from the Greek ones.
A bit, yeah. Less about gods fighting each other, more philosophical. He describes the single, unnamed creator god bringing order out of primordial chaos, separating land from sea, sky from earth, forming the world, populating it. Feels a little more abstract.
And his take on Saturn and Jupiter.
It's less violent than the Greek Cronus Zeus story. Jupiter takes over, but Saturn isn't imprisoned in Tartarus. He remains this revered figure associated with a lost golden age.
Ovid talks about ages of man, right?
Yeah.
Gold, silver, bronze, iron.
The golden age under Saturn was perfect. Eternal spring, no work, no war. People were naturally good.
Then silver, seasons began, people needed shelter, agriculture started. Bronze age, people became tougher, more prone to war, but not totally wicked yet.
And finally, the Iron Age, the current age. Greed, deceit, violence, impiety run rampant. Family ties break down. Mining rips open the earth for wealth. It's a pretty bleak picture.
And Jupiter sees all this wickedness, decides humanity needs a reset.
Yeah, he's disgusted, considers fiery destruction, but worries it'll set the heavens ablaze. So he opts for a great flood, wipes almost everyone out.
Except 2 good people, Deucalion and Pyrrha.
Son of Prometheus and daughter of Pandora. They survive in a small boat, land on Mount Parnassus as the waters recede. They're alone.
They pray for help to the goddess Themis.
And she gives them this riddle: veil your heads, loosen your garments, and throw the bones of your great mother behind you.
Bones of their mother. Sounds gruesome.
They're confused at first, but Deucalion figures it out. Their great mother is the earth. Her bones must be stone.
So they walk along throwing stones over their shoulder.
Exactly. And the stones miraculously soften, take human form. Stones thrown by Deucalion become men. Those thrown by Pyrrha become women. The world is repopulated. And the earth itself spontaneously generates animals again from the remaining moisture and life renewed.
It's a powerful creation and recreation story. Now, Ovid is famous for these tales of divine punishments, often linked to hubris, excessive pride.
Absolutely. Mortals challenge the gods, boast too much, cross lines, and the gods react, often very creatively and permanently. These myths serve as warnings.
And so many of them have left traces in our language.
Totally. Arachne gives us arachnid. Icarus warns us about flying too high. Midas and his golden touch. Narcissus and narcissism. Echo.
Yeah.
Their legacies are everywhere.
Let's look at Arachne first, the weaver.
A mortal girl from Lydia, incredibly skilled at weaving, so skilled, people said Minerva must have taught her.
But she denies it. Boasts she's even better than Minerva, the goddess of weaving herself. Challenges her.
Big mistake. Minerva appears, disguised as an old woman, advises her to be humble, ask the goddess's pardon.
Arachne scoffs at her, tells her off.
So Minerva reveals herself in her divine glory. The contest is on.
Minerva weaves a tapestry showing her contest with Neptune over Athens and includes little scenes in the corners depicting mortals punished for challenging God. A warning.
Arachne, defiant, weaves scenes showing the gods' less dignified moments. Jupiter's affairs with mortals like Europa, Leda, Danae, basically highlighting divine scandals.
And her work is
flawless. Minerva herself can find no fault in the weaving, which makes her even angrier. The skill, the subject matter, it's too much.
So Minerva destroys Arachne's tapestry, beats her.
Rips it to shreds, hits Arachne with her shuttle. Arachne, in despair and humiliation, tries to hang herself.
But Minerva saves her.
Sort of.
Stops her dying, but says, "Live on, wicked girl, but hang forever," and transforms her into a spider, forever spinning threads. Explains the origin of spiders, serves as that cautionary tale against hubris.
Then there's Icarus. We know the phrase, flew too close to the sun.
Comes right from this myth. It's really about his father, Daedalus too, the master craftsman.
He'd worked for King Minos in Crete, built the labyrinth for the Minotaur.
Helped Pasiphae with that bowl situation. Helped Theseus escape the labyrinth. Minos was not happy.
So Minos imprisons Daedalus and his son Icarus in the labyrinth tower. Daedalus, the genius inventor, figures out a way to escape, not by land or sea, but by air.
He makes wings from feathers, wax, thread, Ingenious.
Makes a set for himself and a smaller set for Icarus. Teaches him how to fly, but gives him that critical warning.
Don't fly too low. The sea spray will wet the feathers. Don't fly too high. The sun's heat will melt the wax. Stay in the middle path. Follow me.
They take off. It works. An amazing escape. Fishermen, shepherds below look up, think they're gods.
But Icarus, he gets caught up in the thrill of flying.
Forgets the warning, starts soaring higher and higher, loving the freedom, heading towards the sun.
And the wax melts. The feathers loosen, fall off.
He flaps his bare arms frantically, calls for his father, but plunges down into the sea and drowns.
Daedalus circles, finds the feathers floating, realizes what happened, utterly heartbroken, names the nearby island Icaria in his son's memory.
A timeless story about listening to experience, the dangers of youthful recklessness, maybe even the limits of human ambition.
Okay, King Midas. He gets 2 stories right, both about bad judgment.
Yeah, first the golden touch. Midas does a favor for Bacchus, finds his lost, drunken foster father Silenus, and treats him well.
Bacchus is grateful. Offers Midas a wish, anything he wants.
And Midas, being greedy, wishes that everything he touches turns to gold.
Sounds great at first. He touches a twig, it turns gold. A stone, gold. An apple, gold. He's ecstatic.
Until he tries to eat or drink. The bread turns to gold in his mouth. The wine turns to liquid gold. He's starving, surrounded by useless wealth.
The wish becomes a curse. Fast.
He begs Bacchus to take it back. Bacchus, amused maybe, tells him to go wash in the river Pactolus in Lydia.
And the curse washes off into the river.
Exactly. The river sands supposedly still carry gold flecks because of it. Midas is cured of the golden touch, but apparently not of his foolishness.
Because then he gets involved in a music contest.
Between Pan, with his rustic pipes, and Apollo, the god of music, with his lyre, the mountain god Tmolus is the judge.
Tmolus awards the prize to Apollo, obviously. His music is divine.
But Midas disagrees, says he preferred Pan's simple blunders.
Apollo is insulted, punishes his lack of taste.
Gives him ears that can truly appreciate rustic sounds, the ears of an ass. Long, hairy donkey.
Midas tries to hide them under a turban. Only his barber knows, swears him to secrecy.
But the barber can't keep the secret. It's bursting inside him. He goes out to a field, digs a hole, whispers into it. King Midas has ass's ears, then fills the hole back up.
Secret's safe.
Nope. Reeds grow up from that spot, and whenever the wind blows through them, they whisper the secret to the whole world. King Midas has ass's ears.
Oh dear. No escaping bad judgment. Finally, Echo and Narcissus. A story about love and self-love.
A really poignant one. Starts with Narcissus, this incredibly beautiful young man, but incredibly proud and cold-hearted. Spurned as everyone who falls from him.
Tiresias, the blind prophet, had foretold he'd live a long life if he never knew himself. Cryptic.
Then there's Echo, a mountain nymph. Talkative. Too talkative for her own good.
Juno cursed her.
What? Because Echo used to distract Juno with long stories while Jupiter was busy with other nymphs. Juno realized, got angry, cursed her, so she could only repeat the last words spoken to her, never speak first.
So Echo sees Narcissus hunting in the wood, falls instantly in love.
Follows him, longing to speak, but she can't, until he gets separated from his friends and calls out, "Is anyone here?"
And Echo repeats, "Here!"
He calls, "Come!" She repeats, "Come!" and steps out, armed.
But Narcissus rejects her, cruelly.
"Hands off! May I die before you enjoy my body?" She can only echo, "Enjoy my body." Humiliated, she runs away, hides in cave, wastes away from grief until only her voice is left, still answering calls in lonely places.
What about Narcissus? Does he get away with being so heartless?
No. One of the people he rejected prays to the goddess Nemesis for revenge, prays that Narcissus will also fall in love with someone he can never have.
Nemesis here leads him to this perfectly clear, still spring in the forest. He's thirsty, leans down to drink.
And sees his own reflection. Thinks it's a beautiful water spirit living in the pool. Falls completely in love with the image.
Tries to kiss it, embrace it, but it's just water and reflection. He can't reach it.
He's trapped, can't leave the spot, just lies there, gazing at his reflection, talking to it, pining away, slowly realizes it is him. Which makes it even worse. He's consumed by an impossible self-love.
Wastes away completely.
Just like Echo did, calls out a final farewell. And Echo's voice nearby whispers back, "Well, he died."
And where his body lay, a new flower springs up.
The narcissus, white petals, yellow center, a symbol of his tragic self-obsession.
These transformation stories really pack a punch. They're not just weird changes. They explain things, warn us.
Exactly, about pride, love, loss, art, consequences. The whole human condition reflected in myth.
Let's finish with 2 really poignant tragic romances from Ovid. First, Pyramus and Thisbe. Sounds familiar.
Very. It's widely seen as a major source for Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. The basics are all there.
Young lovers from rival families. In Babylon, In Ovid's version, their parents forbid them to meet.
But they live in adjoining houses, find a crack in the shared wall. They whisper their love through the wall for hours. Frustrated.
So they make a plan to run away together, meet outside the city at night.
By a specific landmark, the tomb of Aeneas under a white mulberry near a spring.
This bee gets there first, waits under the tree.
But then a lioness appears. Its jaws are bloody from a fresh kill. It comes to the spring to drink.
This bee is terrified, runs and hides in a cave. But as she runs, she drops her veil.
The lioness, after drinking, mouths the veil, tears it, leaves bloodstains on it before wandering off.
Then Pyramus arrives, sees the lioness's tracks, sees the torn, bloody veil.
Jumps to the worst conclusion, assumes Thisbe has been killed by the lioness, blames himself for suggesting the dangerous meeting place.
And in despair, he draws his sword.
Stabs himself under the mulberry tree. Blood spurts out, staining the white mulberry roots and berries.
Thisbe comes out of hiding, cautiously returns to the tree, sees the berries have changed color, then sees Pyramus dying.
She realizes what happened, laments, kisses him, then takes his still warm sword.
And kills herself too, to join him in death.
Yes. Prays that their parents will allow them to be buried together and that the mulberry tree will forever bear dark fruit in memory of their tragic love. The gods and their parents grant these last wishes.
A sad, classic tale of star-crossed lovers and fatal misunderstanding.
And finally, Orpheus and Eurydice, maybe the ultimate myth about love, loss, and the power of art.
Orpheus, the legendary musician, son of Apollo and a muse. His music could charm anything. Animals, rocks, trees.
Even the gods themselves. He falls in love with a beautiful nymph, Eurydice. They get married.
But tragedy strikes immediately. On their wedding day.
Yes. Eurydice is wandering in a meadow with her bridesmaid, steps on a hidden snake, gets bitten, and dies.
Orpheus is inconsolable. His grief is immense. So profound, he decides to do the impossible.
Journey to the underworld, Hades, to try and bring her back.
Using his music.
It's his only weapon. He plays his lyre, sings his sorrow, charms Charon the ferryman to take him across the Styx, lulls the guard dog Cerberus to sleep.
Walks through the land of the dead, his music even momentarily stopping the torments of the damned, like Sisyphus and Tantalus.
He reaches the throne of Pluto, king of the dead, and his queen, Proserpina, sings his plea, begs for Eurydice back.
It's so beautiful, so moving.
Even the shades weep. Proserpina herself is moved to tears. Pluto agrees, an unprecedented act.
But there's a condition. Always a condition.
Orpheus can lead Eurydice Shade back up to the world of the living, but he must not look back at her until they are both fully out of the darkness into the sun. Not one glance back.
Oh no, you can see where this is going.
He starts the long climb back up the dark path. Eurydice Shade follows silently behind. He can hear nothing, feel nothing, just has to trust.
The tension must be unbearable. Doubt creeps in. Is she really there? Did Pluto trick him?
He resists and resists. They're almost there. He steps out into the light, just moments away from success.
But in his overwhelming love and anxiety, needing to see her, he turns around, looks back.
And sees her. For just an instant, her shade is right behind him, still in the threshold of darkness, but he looked too soon.
She whispers farewell and is pulled back, irrevocably, into the depths of Hades, gone forever.
He tries to follow, tries to go back, but Charon won't take him this time. He's lost her. Twice.
His grief is absolute now. He wanders the earth, shunning human company, especially women, sings only sad songs.
Eventually, he encounters a band of Maenads, the wild female followers of Bacchus. They're enraged by his rejection of them, or maybe his sorrow disrupts their rights.
They attack him, tear him limb from limb in their frenzy.
His head and his lyre are thrown into the river Hebrus. They float downstream, the lyre still making mournful sounds, his head still murmuring Eurydice.
Until they reach the sea, the muses gather his remains. His lyre is placed in the sky as a constellation, Lyra.
And his shade finally descends to the underworld, where he is reunited with Eurydice, able to walk with her, look back at her forever.
A bittersweet ending after all that tragedy. It really speaks to love transcending death, but also human weakness, the struggle against fate.
Deeply resonant themes, the power of art, the finality of loss. It's why it's been retold so many times.
So we've journeyed through quite a landscape today. Roman myths, from the big founding stories that shaped an empire.
Aeneas, Romulus, Lucretia, defining their identity.
To those larger-than-life heroes like Hercules and Jason.
And complex figures like Atalanta.
And then into Ovid's world of transformation, creation, punish, those tragic loves.
Arachne, Icarus, Midas, Echo, Narcissus, Pyramus, Orpheus.
It really gives you a sense of the richness here. We hope these nuggets of knowledge give you a good shortcut, a way to feel well-informed about this amazing ancient world.
Yeah, because these myths, they really are more than just old stories, aren't they? They're reflections of Roman values, how they saw the world, but also timeless human stuff. Ambition, loyalty, love, loss, pride, consequences. It's all in there.
Their staying power is incredible. In art, literature, even just words we use every day.
Speaks to how universal those human experiences are.
So maybe a final thought for you listening. Consider how these ancient tales, divine interventions, human struggles, how they still echo in movies, books, maybe even our own life. How fundamentally similar are the challenges, destiny, choice, consequences. How might your experiences resonate with these ancient struggles? Something to think about.